What up? Happy Tuesday, everybody. How you doing? How you feeling? I need to know in the comment sections below, okay? Welcome to our third episode of season 5 of Behind the Music. I am so happy to be back. I'm so happy to see you here, okay? This week we have an amazing R&B artist on the show. What I love about his artistry, but also about having an R&B artist, is that as of late I've been doing this series called 3 Artists You Should Add to Your Playlist, and as of late it has all been R&B, and that's the one that I've been getting the most comments on, the most reception on, so I'm super excited to now bring on one of those artists on the show for us today. It's gonna be so good. For those that aren't familiar and didn't see the little promo post, we have the fantastic JRosé in the house today. He is an R&B artist based out of Toronto, Ontario. Okay, and his heritage, I don't really feel like his heritage is infused in his music, but his heritage is rich, and I do think it adds a little oomph, a little something special to the music that he gives us, okay? Right now in the background, we have Devil Wears Prada playing. This is a single off of his latest and honestly his first EP. The EP is Where Do Fallen Roses Go? It's a deep one. It's a deep one, and it's definitely for those that are going through the hardship of love, okay? But without further ado, let's invite the artist of the night into this conversation, guys. Please drop your favorite emoji for the one and only JRosé.
Hello.
How are
I'm good.
you?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm jamming out. This is my favorite song on your EP.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you have a favorite song from
Um,
it?
I mean, honestly, when it comes to my music, there's different eras for and different feelings for the song. So, Devil Wears Prada, actually, I was inspired a lot from the movie Devil Wears Prada and the story of that, and essentially. The writing of that song is very intimate. So I would say, in terms of the intimacy and the rawness, that's one of my favorite songs. My all-time favorite, though, in terms of writing, would definitely be Relinquish, which would be the last song.
Okay. And we're gonna dive into it all as well. Welcome to the show,
Thank
though. Before we
you.
get, how you doing?
Thank you so
How you
much.
feeling?
I'm feeling good. Again, I want to thank you for even, giving me this opportunity. I have much respect for people who share their platform with local talent. I think that's so important that everybody has some kind of foundation and where they start. So I'm, honored to be here. This is one of my first Instagram lives that I'm doing. So thank you so much.
Amazing! Oh, I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy to be your first. That's so cool. I feel privileged. Also, shout out to everyone that's watching. I already see an I love you. They're talking about you,
Thank you. I
but
love you too.
okay. So let's bring it back to the beginning of your career. What
Mhm.
inspired you to pursue music?
So my relationship with music goes very deep. So I've had a love for music, and I've known I loved music ever since I was small. So, as early as 5 years old, I would be sitting down listening, to my mom's Walkman, and I'd be listening to old tapes and old songs and old albums. And one of my first albums that I listened to was Butterfly by Mariah Carey, which was released in the early 90s. And I just remember listening to that whole album at like around 5 years old and just crying because of how beautiful and how intense and how interwoven her lyric and her artistry was and how she expressed herself. I think that it was such a beautiful, capsulated moment that resonated and lasts forever in my heart. And it directly inspired me to find that inner music within myself, because there was a reason why music was moving me so much. There was a reason why, I would cry with certain songs, and I would look deeper than just what the song was, but what the lyrics were. And I was this, passionate since I was small. So I knew that my heart definitely was where the music was. And now, in terms of finding my voice, I think that my inspirations, in terms of, as I always say, Jodeci, Boyz II Men, Mariah Carey, Casey and JoJo, Brian McKnight, and so many others have definitely inspired me to find, what my voice is and what that means to me. So it's a very deep and rich and fulfilling journey so far.
Yeah, absolutely. What were some of those songs that were bringing you to tears when you were younger?
Butterfly by Mariah Carey,
Butterfly.
Outside by Mariah Carey, Back at One by Brian McKnight, Casey and JoJo's cover at what's it called? Oh, it was a Stevie Wonder original. Um,
Okay.
I can't remember the name of the song, but it was a cover that they did of Stevie Wonder's song. And I just remember listening to the MTV Unplugged, and I just remember being a kid and I was crying. And my mom said, "Why are you crying so much?" I said, "Because the lyrics are so deep, it's moving my soul, like it's giving me chills." And there's just something about the vocals back then. I
Yeah.
love what R&B and where R&B went to now, but something about the vocals back then that encapsulated how you felt, and it really
Yeah.
invoked what emotion that they wanted to. And that just inspired me so much to find that within myself. Yeah.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't lie. I was not crying to songs when I was younger. Like that's when you know it's like really touching your soul. So was
Mhm.
it the way they were singing it, but it was the lyrics?
Yes, it was the way they were singing it. It was the lyrics, and it was a choice of like the inflections that they used within their voice to convey those
Okay.
set emotions. Because I'm
Wow.
a huge believer of and a huge fan of like technique, vocal technique. So,
Yes.
every morning, for instance, I wake up in the morning and I sing, my whole EP while I'm running on the treadmill because I'm building up my technique and my stamina. And there was something about the technique that these R&B artists used to, that they done and that they still do, that
Yeah.
just really improve the overall sound of the song because you can make a really good song, but when your voice is doing exactly what you want it to do, that's everything.
That's
Yeah.
everything. Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so nowadays when you're performing, is that your goal to make the audience cry?
My goal is to get the audience to feel my set emotion. So if I'm making
Okay.
a song and this song that I had has to do with heartbreak or finding yourself or healing from something that was really painful, I want you to feel that set emotion. So I try my hardest to invoke the rawness and the emotion into the song, so that way it's felt because I really do believe that the artist, when you're performing, you're connecting with those fans, you're connecting with the audience,
Absolutely.
and how you
Mhm.
convey yourself is everything. It's more than just recanting that song, but how does that song make you feel? Go back into that moment, feel that moment, become intimate with that song, and express how you want to feel to the audience. So that way they know exactly what level you're on, and everything can be in synchronicity.
So not only are you healing through this creative process and creative expression, but you making us,
Yeah.
the listeners, heal as
Yes,
well.
that's the goal. Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, out of all the stages you've been on, especially like in your early stages of your career,
Mhm.
what was that moment where you're like, "Oh shit, like this is my first professional gig and like we're doing it."
Actually, my first bigger professional gig was actually a few days ago. So I performed at a pretty big venue.
Yeah.
There was around 200 people, maybe more. And they reached out to me. They wanted me to perform. They were a huge fan of my music, and I was like, immediately. I have this thing where sometimes I go into myself. I'm like, can I do it? Is my voice going to do what it wants to do? And I start going into myself and I start talking myself out of it because I know that the motion of where my life wants to go, it's moving very fast. And I've
Mhm.
always known since I was small that the minute that I start getting that ball rolling, that it's going to roll. And when it rolls, it's not going to stop because this
Okay.
is my passion and it's what I want to do. And so I know
Yes.
that every step that I make forward, a new opportunity presents itself and things
Yes.
get more serious and it starts to level up. So they reached out to me and they wanted me to perform a set of 3 songs.
Yes.
And, they were all huge fans of my music and I was really honored to do that, but I was really nervous. I'm like, it's such short notice. They told me about 2 days prior. And so I go out there and everybody was, being so supportive. They were, yelling my name and they were singing my songs. And I think that that's when I realized that everything that I've dreamt of up until now is slowly starting to come true. And that means everything to me. Like the inner child in me smiles every day because I made that decision to take that leap of faith and go for my dreams.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so what was it like? And what was the venue? What was the occasion?
So the venue, it was at a place called Bond Street. It's 222. So it's partial open mic, but there's partial performances where they bring artists in. So the good thing about it was there was a lot of other local talent. It's in Oshawa, and it was a lot of other local talent that came, which was really nice. Some music students, etc. But there was an audience that came for the artists that were headlined there. So when I was performing, I just remember being very nervous, and I just remember just looking straight just out into everybody's faces and just looking into the crowd and just realizing that this is what I want to do. You know, that adrenaline that I transfer into a whole different person when I am on stage and when I'm performing. And it's almost like I don't care anymore. You know, I talk myself out of doing it until I do it. And then when I do it, I realize this is what I want to do. And then I want to just continue going. So it's such a process, but breaking out of that self-sabotage was something that I had to learn from early. It's
Yeah.
very important because you will talk yourself out of doing anything, especially when you know that this is, you know, things are moving very fast. So when you know that the universe is working the way you want it to and it's working in your favor, you start getting scared and you want to pull out because it's like, okay, this is, I asked for it, but you're giving me what I asked for a little too fast. You have to learn to accept that and to walk into that. And I know that there's going to be more performances where they're going to be bigger. I'm going to be more nervous, but I have to continue to remember what that inner child in me wanted and always dreamt of doing.
Absolutely. And let's talk more about that mental shift because
Hmm.
self-sabotage is such a real
Yeah.
thing. It's so
Yeah.
unfortunate. Like, why can't I just be
I,
positive in my head? Like,
I
why can't
know.
that be the norm? But what are some of the things that you tell yourself and practices that you do to combat that negativity?
So, what I really like to do, and thank you, that's actually a really good question. But what I like to do is right before I perform, I always end up like I do like a practice on. So I have this thing where I work out for about half an hour. I'm on the treadmill and I'm recanting all of my songs, and I do it for my breath control. I do it for my nervousness. It helps to get my nerves out. But another thing that I like to do is I like to sit there with myself, and I like to go into myself, and I like to talk to myself, and I like to tell myself, okay, you know, you're nervous, but you have to understand you're nervous because you're making progress. You're nervous because you're moving in the right direction. You're nervous because you're taking that leap of faith. And staying comfortable does not always mean a good thing. So I know that in my heart of hearts, I could say, I don't want to go to this one, maybe the next one, maybe the next one, and I can keep pushing it. But I know that staying in my comfortability zone at that moment is not ideal for what I want to do. I have to constantly step outside of my comfort zone and push myself. And so I'm constantly telling myself and reassuring myself that I'm going in the direction that I want, and uncomfortability is a good thing. So as long as it means progression within the path that I chose.
Listen, easier said than done. But absolutely, absolutely.
Hmm.
I deeply resonate with that.
Hmm.
Self-doubt is something that I struggle with as well, but
Hmm.
also that clarity of where I'm
Hmm.
going and what I want, and
Hmm.
the fact that I know that I know
Yeah.
that I know it's going to happen
Hmm.
is also something that I can relate with you on.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's quite interesting how both can
Hmm.
exist at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. It is. It's really interesting. And it again, they're two sides of the same coin, and they work hand in hand. And again, a lot of the times, as I always say, we're our own biggest enemy. It may sound cliche, but it's very true. We are our own biggest enemy, and we can hold ourselves back from a lot of things if we don't jump out of that mindset of saying that being uncomfortable is a good thing. It's not easy, and it's still not easy. Even when I say these things and I go on stage, I'm still always like, you know, I can't believe I'm doing this. I don't know if I'm doing this. What if I'm telling myself the wrong thing? What if this is not, you know, what I'm supposed to do? What if something happens? What if I embarrass myself? But it's just telling yourself that you have to do it and pushing yourself. And in that moment, there's a strength that unlocks within yourself that you never knew existed. It's when you push yourself and pass those barriers, you start to realize that you're stronger, and you get stronger each and every single time. So I remember there was a time where I wouldn't even sing in front of anybody when they asked me. Now I'm performing in front of, you know, over 100 people. Like I look back and I say, this is the progression and this is the way that it's going and this is the way that I want it to go. So this is definitely the path that I want to do. So anything in life that you're doing, you have to understand that if it is aligning with what you want to do and you're feeling comfortable in what you're doing, but also understanding that you are making the necessary progression, then that uncomfortability is necessary in order to move forward.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. This is also translating to me that 2025 is your year.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, you said period.
Yeah.
Period. Cool. Do you have any plans? Anything? How can we support you this year?
Honestly, I have lots of plans this year. This year is the year that I am experimenting with a lot of different music. So again, I'm known as like an R&B soul type of artist, but I'm really stepping outside of the box. Like I have some songs that are like punk. I have some songs that are rap related, R&B,
Wow.
soul, alternative. I'm really dancehall. I'm really experimenting with my sound, and I'm not trying to limit myself because a lot of the times I'm so limited into a box. I'm limited, you know, with a lot of great R&B artists, but I like to look at myself as somebody who likes to make music in whichever category that I'm feeling compelled to do and whichever way I like to express myself. So if I'm sitting down with a producer and a beat resonates with me that might be uncomfortable in terms of what I usually do, then I'm pushing myself to write on that, and I'm pushing myself because if my soul usually tells me this is it, this is a song, and the lyrics come to me and I start writing. So
Yeah.
in terms of support for this year, I mean, showing up to my shows, letting me know what you think about my music, I can always, I guess, better myself and better my artistry. I'm always open to, opinions. I'm always open to, criticism, and I'm always open to people's, different opinions and ideas of what they think I should do or where they think I should go. Because again, it takes a village. It's not just myself. It's not just my ears. I always say it falls from my ears, and then it goes to my producers, and then it goes to the listeners. And I like to take everybody's, opinions and everybody's advice that they give me, and I apply what's necessary and what I think would be beneficial for me. Then so just continue to support me and just continue to check out for my new music, and yeah, spreading positivity around. It benefits all of us. So
Yeah.
those are the ways that you can support me for sure in 2025.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm excited to hear this rock punk situation that's coming our way.
Yes, yeah.
Damn, that's such an extreme from R&B to
Oh yeah.
rock. Maybe that's how you should start the song. With like R&B and then
You know,
like the DJ scratch.
it's
I'm
honest.
joking. I'm joking.
No, honestly, it's funny because a lot of the music and the way I do punk, it's infused. So I'm infusing a lot of the R&B because my runs and like the way I do certain things, it's R&B, reminiscent, but it has a punk feel to it. So it's really cool on being able to blur those lines and to blend those lines because I really do think that the industry is set to place people in boxes. So it's
Yeah,
up to the artists to break those barriers and to show that we are more than just R&B. We are more than just, we can express ourselves in whichever way we feel, and that's true artistry for me.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Okay, so with all of these changes and the evolution within your artistry, do you still relate to your first EP?
You know what? My first EP will always be that catalyst that set me in a particular place within my life to continue going where I'm going. That was a certain foundation and a leap pad that I needed in order to bounce into who I am today. So that EP, it was written over, a little course of time. And, there was different times that I was motivated, different times that I felt compelled to write certain things that, the spirit, as I always say, was talking to me in within certain songs. And I think that the first EP was reminiscent to my emotions and how I was feeling, but it was also the start and the ending of an era. So within my next music that's coming out, it's going to be a little bit different from the EP, but that's not necessarily because I was just experimenting, but rather I was evolving. I was evolving my sound and I was growing. So this was my first EP that I've ever done, and my second one, it won't necessarily be similar, but it might be a bit different because I'm evolving and I'm seeing different things. I'm meeting new people. I'm experimenting with different sounds, and that's the beauty of music to me is just being able to evolve, but to go back to those old. Because I'm going to go back to that EP. I always say in 10, 20 years from now, I'm going to say, I took that leap of faith and I did that. I might have stepped outside of my comfort zone for a lot of things, and I've done certain things that I necessarily would have never done if I, had more time to think about it, but I did it anyway. So that EP was, me saying, this is who I am. And these songs mean a lot to me, but this is the starting of everything, and it's only going to go up from there.
I love that. I love that. And what you said about how maybe you would have done something different, but you're proud that you did it anyways. Like that is the mentality to be
Yeah, for
in.
sure.
Because sometimes when you're waiting for the perfect moment, you're waiting for the perfect sound, the perfect producer, or like whatever it may be, the perfect element, it might never come.
True.
And then
Yeah,
what?
true.
And then
True.
what? So at least you did it. You released your first child.
Hmm.
I'm enjoying it, and I
Thank
can't
you.
wait to hear what the next one
Thank you
sounds
so
like.
much. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, so like earlier you mentioned that you're open to criticism, but has there ever been a time where people were like a little bit too controlling when it came to your artistic expression?
Yes. So I've had a lot of people come in. So I've been working with a lot of people actually who work within the industry, and a lot of people who know people within the industry. And with that comes a lot of people who like to tell me where they think I should go. So a lot of people say, you have the sound, you have this, you have that, but you need to be a little bit more this, or you need to be a little bit more that, or maybe, less about love and more about other things that, adults talk about and just other things. And it's me always I always tell myself, I don't want to do this if that means losing who I am within how I feel in the music that I make. So I've had a lot of people try to tell me, to be more sellable, you have to be, more this, to be more sellable, you have to be more that, you have to sound more like this. Your songs are amazing, but perhaps you should give these songs to this person and maybe you should have sing these type of songs, do more rap, do more, swear more, show your body more, do this more, do that more. And I'm constantly always telling people I'm staying original to how I feel and to my sound. Now, I'm open to taking advice and different opinions from different, music executives and different individuals that will benefit me, but not change who I am at my foundation. The minute I lose who I am, I lost exactly what I wanted to do, which was to express myself in my truth and to express myself in the fullness of how I feel at those given moments. So if I'm diluting who I am at my core, then there's no point in doing this because it's no longer my passion, but it's yours. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Listen, I feel like you were just like letting some steam out. Okay. Yeah, definitely, definitely. And it's so good that you have that confidence within yourself to understand those situations and
Mhm.
identify them for what they
Mhm.
are. And then also stand up for yourself in those situations. Because sometimes it's hard to express those things, especially to like higher level music
Oh yes,
execs.
yeah.
Yeah, so good on you. I'm sensing the Jamaican in you and like that tenacity. Can you talk to us a little bit about how your heritage plays a role in your artistry?
Sure. So, having a Jamaican and Ecuadorian, heritage it's something that's it's been so beneficial to me because they're such two beautiful, islands and beautiful countries. And it's, full of such richness and such culture. My family has a huge connection to music. Jamaican people, have such a huge connection to music that can never be denied. Some of the most amazing artists have been brought out of Jamaica. And, Ecuador has such a rich culture for music as well. So my mom and my dad, coincidentally, they love their music lovers. They were always music lovers. So I was growing up listening to, my mom's bachata music and my dad's lovers rock. And then my mom listening to certain music, my dad's listening to, and it was blended. But I got to
Yeah.
have that exposure to different styles of music, different voices, different, afflictions, as I always say, different styles that really influenced me and was able to resonate within me, and also to create a particular type of rhythm that is blended with both. So it's beautiful to be able to experiment on both sides, the Jamaican side and the Ecuadorian side, because it's something that means so much to me, and it's something that I feel as always, it's in my blood. It's in my blood, and my love for music, it stems from my heritage. It stems from where I came from. It stems from my family. It stems to the culture. And I could never be more happy to say I'm proud of being, where I'm from. And I'm proud to say that I have an Ecuadorian Jamaican heritage because it's molded me to who I am today.
I love it. I love it. We talked a lot about the evolution and how you're just like really just fully stepping into your artistry
Yeah.
this year. Where would you like to see your career go?
So I would like to see my career go, let's just say within the next 5 years. I want to be collaborating with more artists. I want to be performing a lot more at bigger venues. I want to be seen at a bit of a wider audience. I want to explore and experiment a lot more with my sound and experiment working with a lot of other artists. I want to have more amazing interviews like this, and an opportunity to express myself and to show, who I am behind the music, and to, let's let the world know where I come from because it's so important. I want to, be able to refine my craft a lot more because every year that I progress, I'm always looking to refine my musicality and my artistry, and to refine who I am overall as a person, just through life and through different lessons that I learn and different things that mold me to who I am. So I definitely want to be in a better place than where I am now, musically, but just also in life. I want to strengthen my faith because with strengthening my faith, that means that I won't get washed away in the industry, which is so important. So I need my
Tell me
faith as
that
my
one.
foundation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes it takes a while to develop. Like I feel like I grew up in a Caribbean household too. And I feel like obviously Christianity is
Yeah.
everywhere and they're very strict and stuff. But it takes a while for you to adapt it for
Hmm.
yourself and then also understand what it means for
Yeah.
you and like
Yeah.
how to apply it in day to day. Like faith
Mm-hmm.
is instrumental, especially when you're pursuing the arts and creativity, whether it's associated to Jesus Christ or not.
Right.
Having that faith is detrimental. So yeah, I'm glad that's also a part of your journey.
Thank you. Yeah. It's really important.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Mm.
Well, it's that time where we hop into a game. Are you down to play?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so today's game, it's Who Said It, Love or Heartbreak Edition.
Okay.
So basically, I'm gonna give you a line, and you have to tell me who said that line.
Okay.
And if you know the song, then that'd be cool too.
Okay. Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, and for all the viewers, if you guys have any specific questions for JRosé, please drop it down in the comment section. We'll make sure to get them answered at the end of the
Yes.
game. Okay. Okay. So I will always love you, even if I can't have you.
Oh. Are you able to kind of like hum it or
Nope.
if I can't have you?
But there's two artists on this
Okay.
song. One's really prominent in the country industry, two women. And the other one is like a legendary R&B artist.
Oh. Oh man. I feel like I'm not gonna guess it, then it's gonna be once you say it, I'm gonna be like, I should have okay. I will always love you even if I can't have you. Hmm. I'm gonna say I don't know. Which one is it? Which one is that?
It is I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston, and this one's with Dolly Parton.
Oh wow. Oh
It's
no.
tricky, it's tricky. Okay, this one is a lot easier, okay?
Okay.
We found love in a hopeless place.
Rihanna. We found love.
Yeah. Yeah. Good job. Okay. This next one. Okay. I bust the window out your car. I'm
Uh,
trying to like not sing.
Jasmine Sullivan.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, the next one. This one's easy too. Okay. You must not know about me. I could have another one in a minute.
Beyonce to the left. Irreplaceable.
Yes. Okay. Okay. This one. Okay. How you gonna up and leave me now after all the things that we've been through?
I feel like I know this. I know this song. Oh, I know the song.
You do. Male singer,
Um,
R&B, pop.
like
And if you're watching, you know it. Help him out in the comment section.
I know this. I know this song. I know this song. Hmm. I feel like I can hear the melody, but I'm like it's like. Hmm. Oh, I'm gonna have to ask which one that was. Oh my gosh.
No. Ordinary People, John Legend.
Wow. And that's one of my favorite songs. Oh my gosh.
Oh no. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Your next one is I should have bought you flowers and held your hand.
Bruno Mars, When I Was Your Man.
Yeah. Good job. Okay. We'll do I don't know if you know this one. Okay. I knew you were trouble when you walked in.
Taylor Swift, Trouble? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, good job. I wasn't sure. I was like, do you listen to Taylor Swift? I feel like everyone listens to Taylor Swift, but like not on purpose.
Yeah,
You know, you just
yeah,
walk into a store and then you're like, oh, it's Taylor
yeah.
Swift. Okay. Okay. And then this last one. You're toxic and I'm slipping under.
Hmm. Um,
I'll say it again.
okay. Yeah.
You're toxic. I'm slipping under.
Mm. Oh, I'm gonna have to get you to tell me this one.
No, it's okay. It's toxic for Britney Spears.
Oh wow. I wouldn't have guessed that
That was a little
honestly.
bit of a throwback, though.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you killed the game. Good job. Good job. I really wasn't sure how that was going to go, but you did a really good job.
Thank you.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, JRosé, for joining us here on Behind the Music. Please let the people know where they can find you. And yeah.
For sure. So you can find me on all socials, JRosé Music Official. Again, check out my latest EP, Where Do Fallen Roses Go? My latest release, Midnight Bloom, and look out for a lot of my new music. Thank you for taking the time to check this out. And to everyone who is achieving their dreams and everybody who is, fighting that daily fight to push yourself, continue doing it. Push yourself out of your comfort zone and understand that every day that you push yourself is a day that you're making it closer to your destiny, no matter what it is, no matter if it's music, it doesn't matter what it is. Apply yourself to it and understand that we imprison ourselves within our mind and we tell ourselves that we can't do something when we can. So push yourselves, push yourselves, push yourselves. Stick to your faith, whatever your faith is, stick to your
Yeah.
beliefs, never give up, and never let anybody tell you that what you want to do is unrealistic and not something that can be attainable. Prove them wrong, but most importantly, prove yourself wrong, because you achieving your dreams is not for everybody else, but it's for yourself. And I always understand that.
Oh God! Oh my God! Yes, I concur. I like want to add more, but I don't want to bring the both. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Thank you so much for coming on, inspiring the people.
Thank you.
For all of those that are tuning in, this is Behind the Music. It's a weekly podcast that happens here on Instagram Live. Go ahead and give us a follow if you love conversations like this. We'll chat. I'll see you guys next time.
Thank you so much.
That's today's episode. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more conversations with artists in Canada.